We're here on this wonderful Wednesday morning. We are today studying something called the Ein Yaakov. Ein Yaakov are the stories of the Gemara, stories of the Shas, and it's important to learn these stories because they're mehazek and yirat shamayim, and that's what we're trying to do here today, B'ezrat Hashem. And we are today studying Masechet Sotah, a very interesting Masechet. And the first piece here begins as follows: Tanya. Rabbi Omer, Rabbi says, Lama nismecha parashat Nazir parashat Sotah. Why is it that when the Torah spoke about Sotah, it spoke about it right next to the parasha of Nazir? What does Nazir? Nazir is a person who takes upon himself for generally 30 days or more not to drink wine, not to be contaminated lametim, not to get haircuts, and all of this is to sort of disconnect from the mundane and physical, not to pay attention to his looks, not to pay attention to to wine, etc., which is more material, and to sort of direct himself towards something spiritual. That's called a Nazir. What does this have to do with a Sotah? A Sotah is a lady who she secluded herself with another man. She's married, let's say, to Reuven, and Reuven tells her, "Hello, be careful, behave," and she says, "Yeah, Hazak Baruch." And they find out that she was secluded with Shimon. Now they don't know if they did any sins or not. They don't know. She's called a Sotah. The Torah says you take her out to the town square. They would embarrass her. It was a whole story, and they would make her drink the mayim ha'me'arerim, the bitter waters. She would drink the waters, and if God forbid she did a sin, she would die ala makom, on the spot. Okay, what does one have to do with another? What does the parasha of Nazir have to do with the parasha of Sotah? That's the first question in the Gemara. Who has a good answer?
Назир — это когда человек святость соблюдает, чистоту.
Yafe. So what does it have to do with Sotah?
Делает наоборот.
Okay, I hear it. Very good. The Gemara says something like this. Lomar lecha, it's to tell you, shekol haro'eh sotah bekilkula. Any person who sees a Sotah in her embarrassed situation, she was caught, secluded, now they take her to give her the water, she's a Sotah bekilkula, in her down state. You know what you should do? Yazir atzmo min hayayin. Take upon yourself not to drink wine. Distance yourself from drinking wine. Why? Because what caused her to act in such a lightheaded way? Wine. And therefore distance yourself from wine, and thereby you will not come to the situation of Sotah. If I can ask somebody to lower this thermos. Thank you. Now you have to know, Rabotai, I see a beautiful piece here they brought down in the name of Rabbi Tzadok HaKohen Milublin. Rabbi Tzadok says as follows: when Hashem arranges for a person to see something, you're driving down the highway, you see somebody get into a car accident. It's coincidence. You're driving, I said this 2 weeks ago, you're coming off the Grand Central, you see a rainbow in the sky. Coincidence? Nothing is coincidental. Says Rabbi Tzadok, Hashem arranges for someone to observe something, no matter how mundane and unconnected it may be. It is never coincidental, but always to teach us a lesson. It's there, it's a teaching moment. It's meant to enlighten him in some way. And every Jew should take these moments as signs and hints from heaven to learn from them and to change his ways. He says, look at this, he brings the story of Rav Zusha Me'anipoli. He says he was once traveling on the road and he sees a non-Jewish peasant. And the peasant says, "Excuse me, can you stop your wagon? I need your help." What did he tell him? He says to him, "I'm not able to at this time." And he says, "The goy started screaming at me, 'You are able to, you just don't want to.'" That's what he says to the rabbi. And the rabbi said, "If the goy is screaming at me, 'You are able to, you want to,' Hashem is talking to me right now. There are many situations in my life when I say I cannot do it. And Hashem is telling me, 'You are able to, you just don't want to.' So next time you say, no. You are able to. Well, where did he get this from? Even a goy. Random conversation. There's no such thing as something random, and it just happens to be. He says, when I fall spiritually, I'm always able to rise up the honor of Hashem, which has fallen in the world. It's just that I don't want to. In the same way, one who sees the disgrace of a Sotah must recognize he needed to see the Sotah. Why? In order to learn how to grow from it. Now let me ask you a question. You see a guy, he killed somebody, or he stole from somebody, and he spends 20 years in jail. Would you learn from such a person?
Huh?
You have a guy, he's on trial. He built over there $500 million, and now he's on trial. Or he made a Ponzi scheme. Rahmat Khuna, he's still alive, the guy? Mr. Ponzi? So, he made a Ponzi scheme. He's going to spend maybe 20, 30 years in jail. Hazak Baruch. AKA, he's going to die in jail. You see such a thing. Are you going to learn from him? You're going to do it? You're going to do it? If you see Madoff 25 years in jail, you're going to learn from him? You're going to make Ponzi scheme? Here, you see a lady, she's being embarrassed. She's being brought to the worst situation in her life. The whole community is talking about her. Everybody's looking at her. What a pazor. A walking, talking pazor. Disgraceful, distasteful. There was a story I heard. I don't want to say what. Kashmar. People have no intellect anymore. But the point is that you see this lady, she's in her lowest state. You're going to learn from this lady? Why do I need to now say, okay, you know what? I'm not going to drink wine anymore. I don't want to be like this Sotah. What are you talking about? You saw how she was embarrassed. You're never going to be like her. No. Say, our rabbis, the very fact that you saw her, that already impacts you. The very fact that you looked at this guy, that already had an impact on you. So even though he was punished in the end, but the damage has been done. You have connections with a guy who's a crook, the damage has been done. Nothing to do with, I saw he was punished, I'm not going to behave in his way. The very fact that you saw what he did, already there's an impact. It goes deeper than that. Says the Baal Shem Tov. He says, one who sees someone else doing an Avirah, he sees him doing a sin, he has to know, it indicates to him that he also has a connection to that sin. Thus, it really would have been preferable for the individual to never have seen the Sotah's embarrassment. The fact that he did see it, it signifies that there is something inside of him that's lacking in his Kedusha. You see somebody's misbehaving, he's not behaving the right way. You have to know that's a siman for you. Maybe inside of me there's something that's not 100% that I need to fix. Anybody who sees a Sotah in her embarrassed situation, yazir atzmo min hayayin. Now look at this, Rabotai. Says Shmuel in the name of Rav Yitzchak. Today many people complain about Shalom Bayit, it's not fair, etc. I married him, I married her. I got a call 2 days ago. I was sitting at a wedding and I got a phone call from one of my dear friends. And I was at a wedding, I didn't pick up. He texted me, Rabbi, Shalom Bayit. I said, okay, Hazak Baruch. I walked outside of the outside of the restaurant. And I spoke to him, and he said, Rabbi, my wife's on the line, this is what happened, etc. And I didn't say anything, Baruch Hashem, like HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You're going to start saying, I'm listening. He spoke, and as he spoke, he got the point. It's not about who's right and who's wrong. It's about make the shalom, nigmar. It's not worth it to be right. You're never right in a marriage, impossible. Yeah. So in the end, he's talking himself, what a tzaddik, this guy. Himself, he says, you know what? He says, I was wrong, right? He says, I said, it's not even about right or wrong. I said, but be the bigger person. And that was it. Hazak Baruch. So many people have Shalom Bayit, yeah? You have to know, we always blame each other. Look at what Resh Lakish says. When Resh Lakish would teach the laws of Sotah, he would say like this. You want to know who you get married based on? En mezavegin lo le'adam isha ela lefi ma'asav. A lady is married to a man only based on who he is, based on his actions. If he's a tzaddik, he's going to marry a modest lady at Tzenuah. If he's not a tzaddik, his wife's not going to be at Tzenuah. She's going to walk around, I don't know what. Yeah? Shlomit bat divri. But the idea is that Tzenuah la tzaddik. So now, says Rabba Bar Chana in the name of Rabbi Yohanan, that it's difficult for Hashem to bring two people together like it is, so to speak, to split the sea. Why? Hashem wants to give you the best zivug. He wants to give you the highest level. And we sometimes are mekalkelim. We mess up our actions. We don't behave in the right way. and we damage ourselves. And now it's difficult for Hashem to bring us the zechut to marry the right girl, and to difficult for what? To give us parnasa also. It's not that it's hard for Hashem. It's that what? That a person is chas v'shalom mekalkel et ma'asav u'mekapeh et parnasato. That a person can damage his parnasa. The pasuk writes, Moshiv yahidim baita. Hashem brings yahidim, singles together. Motzi asirim bakosharot. He took us out of Egypt bakosharot in the good weather. Al tikre motzi ela ke motzi. Ini ve'amar bi'uda. Amarav 40 yom kodem yisrael amalad. Bat kol yotzot ve'omeret. Bat ploni leploni. Gemara says, I don't understand. You're telling me what? Based on your actions, you're going to marry your girl. The bigger tzaddik you are, the bigger tzaddik it's going to be your wife. But it's not right. Says the Gemara. Not that it's not right. I have a question. What's the question? There's a statement of Rabbi Yehuda that says 40 days before Zachatzia, before you were even conceived. Forget about 40 days before. 40 days before it was even conceived. It's not even a thought yet. Doesn't exist yet. 40 days before that, there's a voice that goes out in heaven and says, Bat ploni le ploni, the daughter of Mr. This one is going to marry this one. It's already determined, 40 days prior. Bait ploni le ploni, this guy's house is going to be for this guy. Sadeh ploni le ploni, this guy's field will be for this guy. It's already determined. All the property you're going to buy, all the real estate investments you're going to make, it's already determined. You don't have to go crazy. Yeah, what's going to be? How's it going to be? People go panicked. It's already determined. Bait ploni le ploni, bat ploni le ploni, sadeh ploni le ploni. You just have to make yourself a kli, a utensil that's able to receive Hashem's beracha. Now the Gemara. So we have a question. Who can help me with the Gemara's question? Resh Lakish said you get married based on your actions. You good guy, you get good girl. You're not good guy, forget about it. That's Resh Lakish. Rabbi Yehuda says no. 40 days before you were even born. We don't know you're going to be tzaddik or not tzaddik, right? So how could it be God already determined my batzug? My batzug, my soulmate. Says the Gemara, la kasha, it's not a difficulty. Why? Ha bezivug rishon, ha bezivug sheni. It depends. When it comes to the zivug rishon, the first zivug, the first match. First match is dependent not upon your maasim, your actions. It's dependent on this proclamation from above. Second zivug, that already is based on your actions. Now what does this mean? Zivug rishon, zivug sheni. Is it in this lifetime? Or maybe we can say that what? All of us lived here already in Olam Hazeh. All of us. Every person here is a gilgul. We have been here before. And we don't know how many times we've been here. Some 3 times, some 2 times, some 7 times, some 100 times. We don't know how many times we've been here. Right? The idea is that maybe now it's already not considered zivug rishon, not already the zivug rishon, and maybe now it's a tikkun for men. And we have to realize that Hashem knows exactly what He's doing, and therefore when He makes a para, sometimes the guy and girl they go out, and He misses a detail about her, they get married. Like, I wish I knew this. Yeah, they're married already. Is that a mistake? There's no such thing. God made it like that on purpose to get them married. Now that you married, now this is your tikkun. What that means, tikkun, you see, I always say, and this is not even my example, I don't remember where I heard it, but you have a guy, he doesn't eat healthy, he eats everything sweet and everything salty, he doesn't sleep on time, he doesn't exercise, everything's cholesterol, the more the merrier. Yeah, and eventually he gets a heart attack. Hazak Baruch. His friend comes to visit him in the hospital, he has to eat chicken broth, and he tells him, oh, Bet Shoreh, look at the situation here. And he says, oh, what can I do? This must be my tikkun. This must be my tikkun. This is, you look at him, you say, oh, you foolish man. Why? The Torah says that Hashem gave you a guf, He gave you a neshama, and you must maintain the guf and the neshama. You have a car, you must get the oil changed. Yes, you have a body, you must make sure you take care of it a little bit. Go on a treadmill every few days. Do something, move a little bit, go for a walk. Yeah, keep healthy, eat healthy. So too, you have a guy, yeah, he doesn't get along, shalom bayit issues, yeah? And he says, this is my tikkun, tak papalas, this is my luck, bad luck, yeah? It's not true. Yeah, most times it's our own investment that's not 100% into the shalom bayit. And this is on both spectrums, on the man's side and on the lady's side. Yeah, on the man's side, maybe we can be more involved and more there and more present. On the lady's side, maybe we can be less, naggy, etc. And we have to, not that I'm making generalizations, but that's the general complaint. But the idea is that I cannot neglect the shalom, and then say what? This is my tikkun. Impossible. So again, says Resh Lakish, you get married based on your actions. Says Rabbi Yehuda, this is what? You get married, there's a proclamation before you were born. Is that a difficulty? Lo kasha. Why? One is before. One is zivug rishon, first marriage, and one is zivug sheni. And we explained that maybe in this life already it's considered zivug sheni. And therefore, Rabutai, the more we behave, the higher level our families are going to be. Now look at this. We'll say one more statement and we'll finish with this. This is Masechet Sotah. Rabbi Meir says that sometimes a person does a sin in hiding, skrita. He doesn't want anybody to see him do a sin. Yeah? He sees the rabbi, right away he stops. The rabbi goes away, okay, back to normal. Is God watching me? I don't know. Yeah? As long as the person doesn't see me. We're all about people. You have a guy, he could fall off his scooter, scrape his leg, hurt himself so bad, or he trips, right on his knee, he falls. What's the first thing he looks at? Did anybody see me fall? Why you care if anybody saw you fall? The guy Betchalai broke his knee. He wants to know, did anybody see? Did anybody watch me fall? The embarrassment hurts him. It's all about people. So says Rabbi Meir, sometimes a person does a sin basetir. He does a sin in hiding, skrita. You know what Hashem does? Hashem is machriz alav bagalui. Hashem says you're going to start to do sins in private. Only you care about people's reputations. I'm going to show you people's reputations and what? I'm going to announce on loudspeakers, how this person behaves. Bagalui, in the open, Harisa Kadosh Baruch Hu is going to announce about him. Shneimar ve'avar alav ruach kin'a v'kineh et ishto ve'en avara ela lashon achraza. Shneimar ve'itzav Moshe v'yaviru kol b'machaneh. The Gemara brings a proof from the pasuk in Bamidbar. Ve'avar, it's which parasha? It's this week's parasha or next week's parasha? It's this week's parasha, no?
Bamidbar, no?
It's Bamidbar. Perek He.
This Shabbat was Bamidbar.
No. It's going to be Bamidbar, Be'ezrat Hashem. Perek He, I think it's going to be in this week's parasha. Yes? So he says over here, Ve'avar alav ruach kin'a, he's going to have a spirit of jealousy. And there's a question in the Gemara, Bichlal, is this jealous feeling that the husband has, is that healthy or not healthy? Is it good or is it not good? Is it pure or is it not pure? Yeah? There's two opinions in the Gemara, and from what I remember, Rabbi Akiva says it's a good thing. Yeah, it's good. It's from a holy place. That's why a person doesn't want that his wife should be free for all. Oh, hi, how's everything? What is this over here? There was a lady we read about in the Chumash. Her name was Shlomit Badivri. Yeah, Shlomit. Hi, oh my God, how's everything? Habibi, you're a married lady. Why are you saying hi to everybody for over here? So too with a guy, married guy. How you doing? How's your vacation? How's your husband? Oh, you got such a nice hairstyle. How did you lose weight? Why? What a free game now. Right? The point is that you have to be very, very careful. To be very careful, Rabotai, that everything has to be b'tzni'ut and b'kedusha b'tahara. So the proof over here is ve'avar alav. And the Gemara says, there will be a kiruz, a proclamation, and therefore, Rabotai, we have to make sure that we behave not only in public, but also in private. And one more thing is that the Gemara says, based on how a husband behaves himself, that energy is going to be inside the house. When a husband behaves like a tzaddik, hopefully he's going to have enough power to give to his family that everybody's going to behave with kedusha b'tahara. But if a person, even in private, if he's chas v'shalom mekulkal, corrupt, that energy is what comes with him to the house. And we'll talk more about this topic another time. Yehi Ratzon. Hashem should bless us and live lives of holiness and sanctity. Yehi Ratzon v'nomar. Amen.